Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. This is David Richard Alma with Balance on the Triad, Body, Mind, and Spirit. So I'm out dealing with body, mind, spirit, basically your health and wellness, and how that can basically change and do things to work, enrich, and do better on each of those areas. So body, mind, and spirit, are they each equally, or, well, it's not a straightforward answer. In general, it's balancing the triad, ever action, so you're ever working each one of those, because they're going to change, they're going to ebb and fall, and that's also going to depend on what's going on in your life. Are you dealing with an injury or some type of surgery or some type of illness? Body's probably going to play a little more emphasis there, as you've got to work on recovery. Or if you're working on some type of specific fitness program for a specific reason, nutrition. If you're going to school, if you got a big exam coming up, if you're working on some type of certification, mind might take more of a focus. If you're dealing with a loss of a loved one, if you're dealing with a relationship that's ended, spirit might take a little more of a focus. So it depends on that. It depends on what's going on in your life. But, anytime you say but, a lot of times it negates what goes on before. With all that being said, probably about 80, if not 90% of the video topics I cover have to do with the mind. So yeah, out of those three, I think mind is one of the ones that needs to be focused on a little bit more. Because if you don't work on what's going up here, you're not going to work on any of them. That's why it's always talking about the ideas is you got to make sure what you want. You got to spend some time in your mind. You got to figure out in your heart, figure out what it is you want, and then are you going to work for that? We've talked about, okay, what are some ideas of some obstacles come up? How do you get through that? How do you push through? If you fall off the wagon, how do you get back on it? And that's probably one of the big aspects here. It's your mindset. A lot of people, it can be redundant. A lot of times people hear mindset, sometimes goes in one ear, not the other ear, because you probably hear it so much or hear about the topic, and some people just don't want to touch it. And at the same time, again, as I just mentioned, unless your mindset's right, unless when it comes to balance the triad as well as with anything else in life, if you don't know what you want and where you're going, you have no idea where to start at. So you got to know where you're starting out, what you want, what are the steps you're going to get there. So it has to be a lot of mindset. If you're going to work on your body, if you're going to work on fitness, what are you going to do? What type of training program are you going to do? What's going to keep you going? What's going to happen if you get up late and miss your gym time? Are you going to do something else, or you can completely blow it off? If you're working on your meals and you have a tough decision to make, well, you can make bad choices and start beginning the next meal. But unless your mindset's going to do that, you're most likely not going to do that at all. If you miss your morning meditation, or something you can do throughout the day. So this all has to do with mindset. If your mind's right, whether it's right or wrong, but at least that's where everything starts. We know everything. The device you're watching this on, the clothing you're wearing, that all started in somebody's mind, then through development became reality. So yeah, do they have equal value between body, mind, spirit? So to kind of reiterate this, kind of yes and no. Well, it depends what's going on in your life, because you might have to emphasize one or the other. It's going to be one or any of the three. And if the picture I've kind of used before, if you picture the body, mind, spirit as a pie chart, as a round pie chart, and of course equally, you got a third, a third, and a third. But it depends on what's going on in your life. So those pie part, that's kind of adjust back and forth depending on what's going on in your life. So maybe body's taking up this much, maybe body's taking up that much, depending on what's going on in your life. So depends what's going on. But with all that being said, the mind, I believe a lot of times is the most important one, which is also why probably most of the videos I cover here have to do with that type of topic or that direction. And as I reiterate, so a lot of redundancy here. This video is that, yeah, unless you got your mindset, unless you basically know what you're doing, why you're doing it, the reasons for it, what's going to happen, what are the steps you're going to take, what happens after, what happens if you get fallen off the wagon, what's going to keep you going, what do you need to do to pivot, all those other things, it's all up here. So unless you got your mindset going properly, you're really not going to work too much on your body for fitness, for nutrition, or rest. You're not going to really focus too much on personal spirituality, communal spirituality, environmental spirituality, and even with the mindset, you're not going to work on focusing things for your logical side. You're not going to do so much creativity, and you're not going to be careful about what goes into your mind for your subconscious. So yeah, All right, so there you have it. Give me your thoughts on that. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's most important to you? Like I said, or do you have different opinion, different thoughts? Let me know that. So that's your idea for today, and we'll catch you next time. So take care and bounce into you. Bye-bye.